Okay, this is going to be part 2 of our Little Steven Underground Garage tutorial. Here we're going to use the Filezilla FTP client to download our content. So in part 1 we put everything in this folder, so we're going to go ahead and delete that. And we're going to open up Filezilla. Now if you don't have this installed locally, it's available at filezilla-project.org, and you're going to want the client version, and you do not need the pro version. You can just use the free one. So here's your basic layout when you open the program. So there are two main options to connect. The first is what we call the quick connect option. So again, the information that I'm typing in here will be available to you via email. So this is the host, just the server itself, ftp.premiere-networks.com. The username is what we've supplied to you, and also the password. You can leave the port number blank if you go to connect and you have an error and it says or it's prompting you for a port number. You're going to use port 21. That's the default FTP port. And we hit quick connect. So on the right hand side here we have all the folders on our FTP server that are available. We're going to again browse down to Little Steven's Underground Garage. So we have the two folders that are appropriate to us right now. We have the Q Sheets and our Test FM folder. We can go to Q Sheets. We can highlight the Q sheet, and let's just go add file to Q for right now. And we go into Test FM. And again, we have two full sets in here, but we only need one. So this time for this tutorial, let's download the second set. I've highlighted them all. I'm going to hold down the Control key, right click, and go to Add Files to Queue. The reason why I did that is because it allows me to add both the MP3s and the PDFs at the same time. And over here on my left hand side you see it says local site. This is the local computer that you're working on. I have it set to look at that Little Steven folder that's sitting on my desktop. So now I'm going to go to the transfer menu. I'm going to hit process queue, and it's going to add everything, or it's going to download everything that we have told it to download from the two different locations on the FTP server all at the same time. Alright, and now that's done. So if I minimize and I go to my folder on my desktop, I see that all the files are sitting where I need them to be. So let's delete these, and we're going to go back into Filezilla. We're going to hit F5 to refresh, and I see that the files are gone. I'm going to show you the other method of downloading when you're doing manual. Here, let's go into the Q Sheets. I'm going to highlight that PDF that I want. I'm just going to drag it over to the left and let it go. Go into Test FM. Let's highlight the files that I want. Hold down the Control key, drag them over to the left, and let them go. And you'll see that they'll download there. And if I want to double check, there's my local folder on the desktop, and that's good to go. So that's the quick connect version on how to connect up here using the quick connect bar, and then how to download using Filezilla. So let's delete these again, and I'm going to red X to disconnect from the server. If you would like to save a profile in Filezilla, something I highly recommend, because then it ends up being a two-click connect process. You don't have to type in anything. Once you've set it up, you can go to the File menu and go to Site Manager, or you can go to this little Site Manager shortcut right here, and you see that I've built one, and I named it Little Steven. But if I want to do this from scratch, we can go to New Site, Little Steven, and the host is again the same, ftp.premiere-networks.com. I do not change the protocol, I do not change the encryption. Logon type, I'm going to be normal, and the username is the same user that we've been using here. It's supplied to you via email. You're obviously not going to use the FTP video one. Password is not shown to you. My recommendation is you come down here in the comments and you write yourself a note, password equals whatever it is, in this case. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to go one step forward here. You could stop right now. You could hit connect, and it's going to love life. It's going to connect for you. Then you can do all the things that we just did when we used the quick connect bar. However, I'm going to go one step further because I want to be as quick as possible every week when I grab the show. So I'm going to go to the Advanced tab. The local directory, I'm going to browse to my Little Steven folder, and I'm going to hit select. And on the remote directory, let's go ahead and connect here. Let's go to Little Steven Underground Garage, and let's go all the way into my station folder. Let's copy that information. Let's go back to Site Manager, Advanced tab, and I'm going to paste it into the default remote directory. Let's again select my local directory. So now when I connect to this site, it's going to automatically open these two locations for me. I don't have to browse and find them, which is going to be nice. And I hit OK. So let's red X and disconnect. Let's close the program and act like I'm going to come back next week and grab my show. I'm going to open Filezilla. I can go to File and Site Manager, or I can use this little drop-down menu and select Little Steven. And it automatically connects me to the Premiere-FTP server. It automatically connects me to Little Steven's Underground Garage, and it automatically takes me into my station folder where my files will be located for me. Now, from here, if you needed to get the cue sheets, you have two options. You can go ahead and click on the main root directory for Little Steven, and it'll take you up one level. Or if you're in here, you can double click and it'll take you up to the same level, and then you can go into cue sheets and proceed with your download from there. So that's how to use the quick connect bar with Filezilla FTP client, and also how to use the site manager to save you a profile and have your repeat process for future weeks be as fast and efficient as possible. Hope that helps.